And welcome back to another TI Testimonies. We have Thomas here. He's going to give his testimony. This goes out to everyone worldwide, especially those in our governments worldwide, news reporters, investigators, even paranormal investigators. We ask that you come forward now together to investigate the claims, beyond claims, the evidence that has been provided in the previous TI testimonies at targetingexposed.com and all the connected links, groups, pages, and all the other people in their testimonies. Take another look at it and reinvestigate with those in our governments worldwide so that justice can finally be served and so that the many men and mostly women and children can be safer and truly secure from these real threats to us all. Take it away, Thomas.
Thanks for having me, Devin. I'm here today to talk about my experience being a target. We're going to go back to 2015. I was the director of national accounts at the time for a company called Apex Systems, which their stock ticker is ASGN. Um, and are you just still there, bud?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah. So I quit abruptly working for Apex in 2015 when I found out that the vice president, Rob McGuckin, my former boss at the time, was using underhanded methods to track me. And he didn't want to discuss how he was tracking me. And because it was an underhanded method, I just quit on the spot. And I'm 41 years old now. This is going back almost 8 years since I've been a target. I had absolutely no idea that anything like this could exist. And as soon as I quit the company, I started getting targeted. And what does that mean? Uh, as you know, they use frequency weapons, so they mess with your biometric makeup. They use symbols on cars like 666 symbolism. They use brighting, which is a tactic with headlights. They use one headlight symbolism. They use people that I'll say appear, uh, in synchronicity with what's going on in your life. They never talk to you. Um,
Sensitization and
yeah,
psychological operations.
Absolutely. Sleep deprivation. For the first 6 months that I was in the program, I got an electrical type impulse at the exact second that I was about to fall asleep. And now, I mean, to this day, I sleep for about 4 hours at a clip. Um, but it was very interesting that when I first started getting targeted, they had the ability to wake me, jolt me at the exact precise second that I was about to fall asleep. It's fucking crazy.
They do
So the
that with
super
me
tech that's
too.
involved in this is,
They do
can
that with
be
me as well. I know what you're talking about there. Many targets have been coming forward saying that their dreams are being manipulated, that they're tempted to make when they're sleeping appear as if when they're awake more and more by using stimulus from that day or the previous day, putting it in their dreams, trapping them in their sleep, putting them in virtual hotel rooms, and they would feel being sexually assaulted and stuff like that. Do you experience any kind of dream manipulation?
I would say thought manipulation, absolutely. We can go up and look at the patents for all this stuff. They have remote neural monitoring. They have the ability to read thoughts. They have the ability to implant thoughts. So I think from my own personal experience and perspective is that I'll question thoughts that I have sometimes, whether they are organic or whether they're even my own. So yeah,
Do they
I'm
alter
very
the sound of your inner voice by any chance?
I'm
Or
very
try to use it?
strong-willed and strong-minded, and so I feel like I'm very grounded in the sense that I know right from wrong, and I can work through these challenges. So if something feels foreign, if it feels like it didn't come from my source and my origin, I'm able to decipher that. But again, some of the thoughts that I've had during this experience don't seem organic or they don't seem like my own. So, what are they doing? And It was, I've reported the stalking and harassment going back to 2016. Now, I just want to go back on the company that I worked for. Apex Systems is a big tech staffing company. Some of their clients include Lockheed Martin, Disney, Pfizer, Facebook, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Voya, all the banks,
Is this
Deutsche Bank.
associated with what Brian Kaufman was exposing? A private
I'm
security contractor? Is this connected
uh,
with Amazon?
I mean, I'm not sure if Amazon is one of their clients. I haven't been with the company since 2015, but I have been in touch with Karen Melton Stewart, who's formerly of the NSA for about 25 years. And she hired a private investigator that tracked some of this targeting back to Lockheed Martin. I've reported this to the FBI, local police, state police, chief state's attorney's office, United States attorney's office, state of Connecticut police, every Department of Homeland Security, the White House, you name it. I've reached out to these people and I've reported it. I've asked them to investigate Lockheed Martin as they're one of Apex's largest clients. Nothing's been done. Nobody has any idea. It's out of everyone's jurisdiction. I submitted my complaint form in writing to the United States Attorney's Office. Karen Melton Stewart submitted her private investigator report implicating Lockheed Martin and attached it to my file there. Nothing's been done. I've
Lockheed
reached out.
Martin's a pretty big. They're like BlackRock almost. They're
Yeah,
big
they're
up
one of
there.
the largest Department of Defense contractors for the United States. And if we go to targetedjustice.com, they're implicated in this GPS tracking program. So a lot of different sources have pointed at Lockheed Martin and said that they're involved in the targeting. Now, I worked for Apex, even though Lockheed wasn't one of my clients. They're one of Apex's clients. They're one of the largest clients that Apex has. So for them to come out with Havana syndrome, the New York Times reports it, all these, entities, media entities are reporting these technologies and that these programs are going on, but no one's willing to do their due diligence and investigate.
Well, that's
And at the
because I'll tell you why they're doing that. It's because it's brainwashing what they're doing. They're calling it something Havana syndrome. And what it sounds like, they're reducing it down. This is what they do with everything. They take terms, they take words, they take labels, and they associate whatever meaning, whatever they want people to believe, think, perceive with it. So when they say Havana syndrome, they're not saying we're trafficking and torturing and raping and mind controlling people worldwide. They're saying, no, people are experiencing some kind of symptoms of an illness and it's unexplained. We don't know what it is, you know? They're
Well,
not.
no, well, no, you're absolutely right, and that's one of the tactics that they use is they will take the target. Okay, I was taken in 2016, right? They put handcuffs on me. They forced me to St. Raphael's Hospital in Hartford, Connecticut. They forced me to go have a psych evaluation. Now, I waited in the hospital for 8 hours to speak to a Dr. Rothschild, if you can believe that, for
Wow,
about 5 minutes. Yeah,
that's
for about
creepy.
Rothschild. Yeah, it's fucking hilarious. For about 5 minutes, we spoke. He diagnosed me as psychosis, but couldn't be more specific than that. So this is a tactic that they use on all the targets. Most of the targets
Yeah, they don't
have
get into details because if they get into details, that's when they get caught in their bullshit.
absolutely,
They stay on the surface with words. They use neurolinguistic programming techniques 24/7.
absolutely, absolutely. And I'm out here saying specific names of companies, from my own experience, who I worked for, and when the targeting started. I'm giving timelines. I'm name dropping Rob McGuckin and the CEO of Apex and On Assignment, which is Rand Blazer. And I'm specifically saying to investigate these parties, and nobody's doing it. So, I you know
They're
I don't
connected
think
with the people that would investigate them. That's the problem.
Well, I think it's probably some of that. I also think that what we're reporting is so technologically advanced that it sounds like horse shit. It sounds crazy, but then the people who do know are proactively covering it up.
Yeah, we got the FBI's COINTELPRO and InfraGard involved too, and we got the NSA, people calling it remote neural monitoring. But
Yep.
we got their signals intelligence, human intelligence, domestic intelligence, their fusion centers. They basically compromised everyone, all in the interest of national security and safety and security and peace and harmony. And we got to beat the other guys before they get it first, even if it's total mind control, possession, and dooming us all. We got to beat Russia before they do it. But that's what they're
Yeah, I mean,
doing. They're taking all of that for themselves and using it against us while they compromise, control our aspects of our governments.
100%. So, you're familiar with the censorship within big tech, Twitter, Facebook, all that, people
Yeah.
getting,
Yeah,
yeah,
controlling the information. It's informational warfare on top of it. Psychological
yeah,
warfare, if you really get into it. And beyond that, beyond the mental warfare, it's spiritual warfare. And that's what the people in our governments need to remember.
absolutely. And the funny thing about the FBI is that when I've contacted all these agencies, local police, state police, it doesn't matter who, they say, "Oh, report it to the FBI." Well, I've spoken to the FBI a number of times, many times, and they always cut me off before I give them all the
They
details.
hang up, right?
And
Oh, we'll pass it on to our
oh yeah,
up the click.
yep. And then they flat out told me one time they flat out said, "We're not investigating directed energy weapons." Click. They want nothing to do with it
Because they
because we
probably
are
get a
calling them
million
out.
calls a week for it.
Yep. They want nothing to do with it because and you know what, Devin, everything that we're dealing with as targets, it is like secondary to we know the overarching problem is child trafficking, right? And what they're doing with kids and all the occult stuff and all that bullshit. So I
Persecution,
believe,
too.
what's that?
I think it's a little bit of persecution where these Satanists and the Antichrists, whoever the Antichrist is, Tammuz, Horus, Nimrod, Ra, whatever his name is, Marduk, Enki, I don't know. The Anunnaki being that is the Antichrist, or the son of the Anunnaki being that is the Antichrist, they work for him, and they're all worshiping them, and they're all Illuminati, they're all Luciferian. And I think
Yeah.
Lucifer, the original Lucifer, is Enki, or it's the son of Enki, Marduk, who was apparently who was Nimrod in the Bible, king of Babylon, first Antichrist. And they said that the spirit of Nimrod, aka the spirit of the Antichrist, who is a spirit, mind over matter, spirit over mind. We're physical matter, but we're not matter. We're energy. And then, other higher dimensions, the spirits are right there. We can't see them with our physical eyes, but is right there. He's right there. All these thousands of years or whatever. And these dead Nephilim, these spirits, so these evil spirits, have been haunting us. And they're these principalities, or they're the demons that we've been talking about. And if the government doesn't recognize that demons and non human beings are doing this stuff with our shadow government, then the government's going down for the evil that's been taking place, because the people, as if the government doesn't help the people accept that these things are going on, then the people are going to accept instead that it's the government doing it to people, not
Well, and
some evil.
I think when you say the spiritual aspect, I believe that we're all here right now to expose what they're doing. I think that's the spiritual battle that
Yeah.
we have to expose all of it.
If
Like
we
that's why
don't, then they're going to get framed, and then the evil forces, the spiritual forces, will take over the whole planet more and totally enslave humanity. The governments won't be able to help us because the governments are going to go down for all these crimes.
well, they're mass brainwashing everyone. They're using the technologies against the people. We know that they have, you talked about Brian Kaufman earlier, and he exposed the fact that in Seattle, they have the technology, they tested it where they can manipulate the thoughts of entire cities, like
Yeah.
entire,
They were
yeah. So,
spraying scopolamine. The CIA got caught in operation spraying devil's breath over cities and hypnotizing them and doing all kinds of experiments. These people
yeah,
think that if they just stand in line, sir, yes, sir, and do what they're told, that their authorities are gonna, they're like teachers, they're like children in the classroom, and they think their authorities are the teachers, and that, they're gonna, as long as they follow the rules, that everything's gonna be okay. But they're naively not realizing that the whole world is literally controlled by the forces of evil.
yeah. I mean, that's what it
What do you
breaks
do?
down to. And they're combining the technology with that evil, which makes it even crazier.
Yeah,
We look at the military, you look at law enforcement. I mean, they've literally infiltrated every layer of society. I don't think people have any concept of the position that we're in right now and what we're up against when they control the government, the police, they control the judges, the lawyers, and it's pretty bananas. It's hard to wrap our minds around.
but they've been
Uh,
mind controlled because they're programmed to sir, yes, sir.
Absolutely.
That's it, sir,
Well,
yes, sir. That's it.
yeah. Yeah, I mean that's the mentality, especially within the military. And so when you have people carrying out orders and they're not questioning what they're doing, right, we can look back at all the wars in history in our lifetime and going back, and it's like, who's behind that? Whose wars are they fighting and why?
Yeah, they're fighting each other. They don't even realize they are coughing up our country. All these people on the internet that are, blocking spam. Like, look at all the people spamming. You ain't blocking them. You're blocking us speaking the truth, calling it spam. They're blocking us
Right.
off the internet. They're fucking themselves. Sorry for my language, but all you people out there calling what we're saying conspiracy theories and spam, you know what you're doing? It's like you're
Yeah.
burning in a fire right now, and we're over here spraying some water. Get that water off me! It's spam. Like, what are
I
you
keep saying
doing?
the word of the 2023 is projection. All they do is project what they're doing onto us, the people who are speaking out about the truth. And that's all they can do is they can project and lie. They lie and they hide. And as grim as all this sounds, I think that you and I and a lot of other people who have been part of the awakening and understand what's going on, a lot of conspiracy theories have been validated over the last few years,
Yeah,
right?
most I
Chem-
think than not, more than not. I think most of them have some aspect or most of it is true. What is going on is what's going on.
Yeah, and the other trippy part about this whole experience is, talking to family and friends. I mean, obviously everyone within law enforcement wants nothing to do with it. They deny that it's even going on. But, talking to family and friends, and it's like speaking a foreign language to someone. They don't comprehend. Either they think that I'm crazy or that I'm delusional. Like I talked to a detective who I know from high school. Uh, I talked to him about 2016 and told him what was going on. He goes, "That sounds like it's really far fetched." So you talk to people that you know from your whole life, and they can't even process it.
But at least that proves that they're not in on it.
Yeah,
They don't know
I guess
anything.
that's a positive. I mean, I have to believe that there's more good than bad in the world, right? There has to be. They
They're
just have
being
the
deceived.
technology.
That's it, man. I agree with you. I think people are just being deceived. That they're good people. A lot of people, most people are good. And they
Yep.
think they're doing the right thing, but the devil flips everything around, inverts everything. The devil pretends to be God, and if anybody goes against the devil pretending to be God, well, they're Satans, aren't they? And the Son pretends to be Christ, and if anybody goes against him, well, they're Antichrist, aren't they? And the Antichrist would point his finger at Christ himself and say, "You're the Antichrist." You know. So
Well,
that's
and
the
so that's
problem.
what
People don't know.
going back to your spiritual comment, that's why it's on all of us to understand and change within ourselves to see what's going on and understand that we all come from source. We all come from a higher power. We're all fighting for life and for good because we believe that life should not be manipulated or invaded with technology or brainwashed or targeted or harassed or whatever's going on or even the worst things that they're doing. I mean, we want to protect the purity of life, but they've infiltrated the water and the food, right? The GMOs, the chemtrails. I mean, everything, the air that we breathe. We don't even know some of the stuff that they're doing. So I really believe that we know what life is. We want to protect the beauty of life, and I believe that's why we're afforded this time right now is to expose all this shit and stop it.
It's like if somebody's slowly poisoning you, like you're with a spouse, you're with a friend, you're with a family member. If somebody's slowly poisoning your food and they plan to slowly kill you over the course of, I don't know, weeks, months, or even years, are they gonna give they're gonna give you a hint that they're poisoning you? If someone's lying to you, if they're robbing you blind, if they're stealing money from you, are they gonna give you hints? Are they gonna be like, "Hey man, how you doing, best friend? Hey, vote for me. Worship me. You need me. You love me. You want me in your life, right?" That's what they do. That's what they do. They rob you blind. They slowly kill you. They deceive you for their devil gods. And hey, how you doing? Vote for me. Love me. Worship me. Idolize me. You need me. You want me. Hey, I'm your politician. Hey, I'm your religious leader. Hey, I'm your president. I'm your pope. I'm your overlord. I'm your god. I'm this. I'm that. Blankety blank. That's what they do.
and it's all connected. And I think if there's anything to the occult and secrecy, you're absolutely right. They're not going to come forward and say, "Yeah, we did this." I think that they have to tell us what they're doing in subliminal ways, that's how they get some of their power, right? Hide in plain sight.
And they're
So
doing
they,
that obviously.
yeah, absolutely.
In the Super Bowl,
Uh,
the
but
halftime
yeah,
shows.
yeah, the symbolism in media and entertainment and music and Hollywood and all that bullshit. Absolutely. It's a pattern, man. I mean, we know the signs, we look for it in every single thing. You can see the 666, the red, white, and black symbolism, the checkered floor, all the occult worship, all the inappropriate jokes they make about kids. I mean, everything is on repeat in every single
Yeah.
song, every single movie, every single TV show. It's all the fucking same.
It's programming. The only way,
Yep.
and what I was saying before is, you think they're going to tell you, and it's not about not telling you, being honest, and all that other stuff. It's about, you know, they're programming you in your mind. They're programming your kids to perceive them as the good guys. They're not the villains. They're high heavenly angels in your government. They're not fallen angels and fallen angelic races and demons and devils by the definitions, and Nazis and terrorist parasite scum. No, they're your friendly neighborhood, leaders, and
Right.
you're everything. They're your
They're
everything.
they're the teachers, they're every right, all the people that we look up to. And then if we adopt their sick morals and values, which go against everything that's God, then we've consented to what they want to do without even knowing it.
Yep, because they're running this narrative. They're constantly reinforcing the program, and I think that's part of what this checkerboard is too. This Illuminati, Luciferian, satanic checkerboard programming is all about the duality mentality. It's all about this duality lie, this construct that you can't have one without the other, or that things are only one way or the complete opposite. That it's the greatest day ever because you have a reason for it, or it's the worst day ever because you have a reason for it. And it's not both. It's only one or the other. They're either pure evil or they're your heavenly saviors. You know, and half the world's going to think that they're pure evil, and the other half's going to think that they're their heavenly saviors, and that's what divides you all against each other. As long as there's duality, there's division, and there's not
Yeah, and
real divine. There's no real real. It's all a fake, dualistic construct, false reality that has been created by these beings, these Anunnaki beings, these fallen beings, or these false gods.
yeah, and I heard that, and I think it's in Utah, right? They're creating, or they've created a digital imprint of all of us. So we know that they can brain map the mind. And if they created, essentially a digital clone of each of us, who knows what they're doing with big data and that information. And if you combine that with the technology of being able to tap into someone's mind and implant a thought, right? Thinking inception or whatever, research the patents, and they can, predictive analytics. I mean, all the stuff that they can do is it's kind of scary. If the individual isn't allowed to have their own pure, true, organic thoughts.
Yeah, they're even trying to project this thing onto us. I seen this movie, and in the movie, people's thoughts were noise. Everyone could hear your thoughts around you in the future or whatever, and they called your thoughts noise. And anytime you were thinking anything in your own head and you weren't completely silent, other people could hear you around you, and it would annoy them, and it would be called noise. It seems like that's what they're trying to usher us into by connecting us with this hive mind with technology. So that
Yeah.
way we have this synthetic telepathy going on against our will, or they're practicing trying to project our thoughts into the people around us, all the targeted individuals, so they get pissed off, so that they hate us, altering our inner voices or doing anything they can, or you know simultaneously doing that and not doing that, or just simply running that as a psychological operation to test it in the future to do it to everyone else.
I would say that they're, yeah, 1,000%, Devin. I would say they're already doing that. No doubt about it. And yeah, maybe they're experimenting on the targets. But when we break it down, I think that we are energy, right? We are energy from source. We are not physical matter,
Yeah.
right? The physical is not real. The time's not real, right?
They programmed
We
our minds to perceive everything as what they wanted us to perceive it as, while they lowered it down in vibration, so we'd call it something else other than energy. It's solid matter. But scientists zoomed into the atoms. There's nothing solid here.
And that's why we have to expose the frequency weapons, because if they're manipulating our energy and our source, we have a problem, because
They hack
we
reality essentially.
exactly. and then what we're just fucking zombies essentially. They can just program us like robots, you
Yeah,
know.
that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to take us over and make us their living dolls. They're action figures and Barbie dolls, man. They're trying to literally possess every man, woman, and child that they want to keep alive, and the rest, just they're trying to drag us to hell, man. They're trying to burn us alive. They're trying to do some evil shit and feed on our souls. So that's why it's good to know that in the government, because if you think it's all about no, man, they just want some money. They just want some power. They just want to molest some kids. They just want to advance their military industrial complex. It's all about humanity. It's just human stuff. No, it isn't. It's not. And if you think it's all about humanity, you won't see the level of evil, sinister devilry really going on, and you won't actually be serving and protecting yourself, your family, your friends, or anyone here. And you won't be
Oh,
serving God either, because
yeah.
ignorance is not bliss. Our people destroyed by lack of knowledge, and you need that knowledge right there, or you will be deceived probably and turn completely the opposite way, going against that truth, that knowledge, the people speaking it, especially, and God, even more.
Yeah, like you said, that money in the military industrial complex, that's just the catalyst, right? We want to talk about the shadow government. We want to see where that money is going to. It comes from probably taxpayer dollars, private investors, corporations, things like that. But the Pentagon's failed multiple $1 trillion audits. So where's that money going to? Specifically, what types of technologies are they using on the people? So yes, like you said, that's just the surface level stuff, but let's get into what they're actually doing.
Yep. And also, people are programmed, conditioned, especially with all these TV shows, all these cop shows, these crime solving shows. We need the shadow government. We need them. And beyond that, they're the good guys. The Pentagon, we love the Pentagon. It's not satanically controlled. We
Yeah.
love the FBI and the CIA and the good old great love and care. They're our guardian angels. They work for God directly. People are thinking like that when it literally is more the complete opposite.
More people are waking up every day to that fact, though, that these aren't the good guys, that they are carrying out devil's orders. And all anyone has to do is just go on Google and search police chief convicted. Just
Yep.
those three words, and you'll notice a pattern. And I
Or
don't mean
Ted
one
Gunderson.
area.
Ted Gunderson, former
Yeah.
FBI director, exposed the Illuminati satanically, word for word, satanically controlled CIA, the once great CIA and FBI that he worked for. He
Yep.
said the government is satanically controlled by the very real Illuminati, the Luciferian Illuminati, and satanic Luciferian corporations. And then he died shortly after.
Yep, 100%. So he's one of the names. There's a chronological list of people in very powerful places, whether they're celebrities, law enforcement, whatever. And I can send you the link after, but it goes back to Princess Diana and it comes up to present times, to those police officers who saw the laptop, Hillary's laptop in New York, and they, committed suicide, right? And all these people trying to expose the child pedophile rings thing. They all expose the same thing. They all expose the same people, and they all were murdered, right? And so it's a chronological order from Princess Diana up until now, and it's all the same thing. They're all trying to expose child trafficking, and they're all within those circles. And coincidentally, right? Seth Rich, Paul Walker, Leroy Moy from Dave Matthews Band, the saxophonist, all these people, Anthony Bourdain, they're all exposing the same exact thing. So that's why I say we've been afforded this time to, and I know our path is a little bit different. We're exposing something different with regard to technology and stalking and GPS and all that bullshit. But the biggest problem we have is obviously the kids. That's it. Like everyone wants
And
that
even
everyone can
even
be free.
beyond just the kids too, with the kids involved in mind, you know, total takeover, guys. Total takeover.
Yeah.
You want to talk about this crime and that crime and the kids here and the victims over there and politics and religion. But it's not until we connect it all together, we go beyond the hearsay, like kids in a classroom, like this is a courtroom, like this is their courtroom, and we got to do what they say. No, this is real life. This is reality, and they're going to do what we say.
Yep.
This is it. This is the calling. This is in the highest priority interest of national security, international security, universal security. Everyone's safety and security in general, superseding all aspects of all chains of command worldwide, which are compromised and enemy controlled, self evidently proven to be on self evidently proven.
Yep.
You will comply. You will do what we say because we are the people of the government that is of the people, by the people, for the people, and beyond any government, any corporation, or a republic. We are the people of the one true Most High God, with the most authority, the highest authority here over your president, over your pope, over your king, over all your rulers, over all your politicians, and everyone you think is a public official more official than us that isn't, that is caught for treason, probably, or other crimes against humanity. So you can
Yeah.
give the and comfort and be caught too, or you can support us, the real people of real God, the real people of real truth, not conspiracy theorists, but victims of actual, ongoing, real, overlooked, and barely cared about, it seems, crimes against humanity, heinous, egregious crimes against mostly women and children. So, if you don't care about that, then don't call yourself an American. Don't call yourself a Christian, a person of God. Don't call yourself a caring, loving person. And don't think that ignorance is bliss and that you can hide behind your ignorance anymore. Because ignorance is treason. You choose the truth or you choose treason. That's the way it always
Exactly.
was, and that's the way it
Yep.
always will be.
I totally agree. Everything you just said is spot on, and everyone needs to actualize and realize what's going on. That's the only way people can make conscious, informed decision of how they want to live their lives and hold these people accountable. And I always say this: I always say that we're going to have truth, transparency, and accountability. That's why we're here to hold them accountable.
Exactly. It says in the Bible to shame your enemies, but to love them anyway. But not overly love them. That doesn't mean bend over and let them, take you and kill you and rob you blind and, make a mockery of you and, defile you and even use you and your name and your image against everyone in God. No. God gave you the authority to trample on these serpents, and you will not be harmed in the process as long as you have faith in God, or you it'll work out for you.
Yep,
So
and
this is the
just for
calling
any of
for
the
everyone.
new targets out there who might be listening, there is a certain element of fear, when I came to the realization that this was happening, that they have these capabilities to track and monitor 24/7, and how many different people are involved in this. There is a real fear that settled in that, what is life? What's going to go on? Are they just going to come after me and murder me? And then you work through all that. Someone proposed to me the theory that we make our agreement with God before we even come to the physical plane, um, and that helped me just kind of not give a shit about what's going on and understand what's important and why we're here. So anyway, for any of the new targets, don't you have nothing to be afraid of.
Yeah, it's all fear and trauma based mind control programming, satanic ritual abuse, neural linguistic program. If you're experiencing voices in your head, don't describe it as voices in your head. Describe it as MK Ultra like psychic driving monarch neurolinguistic mind control programming, hypnotic brainwashing, menticidal programming, because that's what it is. They repeat things hundreds or thousands of times to brainwash you, to psychic drive you to perform menticide, just like in the MK Ultra projects. So
Yep,
this
and you're
is
not.
CIA, FBI, and demons, demonic forces taking part, working together, and our government is unaware. A lot of our governments worldwide, the people in them, are unaware of these things, or they have
Yep,
some degree of awareness or belief in, you know, beings beyond humanity. But just look around you, ladies and gentlemen. You're surrounded by non-human beings already.
and
You know
you're
that.
not crazy because they have patents for all these technologies, so you can concretely look them up. You can see what they're designed for, you can see what they're used for, and you can revert back to that. And once you understand their methods, what they're trying to do to break down the psyche, you become stronger and more resilient to what they're trying to do.
Yep.
And yep.
These are conquerors of consciousness or destroyers of consciousness. They know that your mind is very powerful, that your mind is over the matter, or this what we call matter, that your spirit is over your mind. that you're a spiritual consciousness inhabiting a human body, and that if they can control your consciousness, they control you. And if they can take over your mind, they may be able to take your soul for eternity and use you as a power source if God doesn't save you. So don't be evil, guys. Don't think this is a game. Don't think that if you're in the club that it's disloyal to speak out. Don't think that, this isn't going on or that you don't need to speak out. If you're in the Illuminati, if you're in a secret society, if you're a Mason that doesn't believe that when you become a 33-degree Mason that they don't tell you you're a Luciferian the whole time, it's time to wake up and come forward. It's time to step up and stop being naive. Stop being pathetic, really, needing to fit in some club so you can feel like you're a part of something. Why don't you fit in with us, with the truth, with the power that we have, with more possibilities, more choices, more hope, more freedom, more leverage over you and them and the forces of evil you worked for all these years than ever before in all of life's time? We have more that we can do right now with all of this evidence that we've more than we've ever had in all of life's time as well. Targetingexposed.com. We have the Supra Leaks, SuperLeaks.com. That is a new leak for the press, for the people, for the governments right now. You go there, that exposes everything we just said. It proves it as facts. It gives you all the evidence that we've gathered. It brings you to an uncountable amount of other people, thousands or millions and more people that have come forward, that have made a post about this stuff, that have, given some kind of statement or testimony or information about this stuff, or have suffered from this stuff. And, it's all right there. TargetingExposed.com will lead you to it. Superleaks.com will lead you to it. And, our timelines will lead you to it on Facebook. You'll find
Yeah,
it
we
on
need you
Facebook.
guys to come forward. No, we all do this together, and we need the whistleblowers. We need people who have inside information to come forward. We need the law enforcement to come forward.
We need
Anybody who's aware of these
celebrities.
programs.
We need a
Yep.
lot of celebrities and news reporters.
Yep. Oh yeah, I mean, I contacted David Sanger from the New York Times. That guy's full of shit, man. I mean, completely full of shit. He's a Harvard graduate who also coincidentally works for the United States government as an agent, and he published an article. David Sanger published an article about Havana syndrome. I contacted him on his cell phone, telling him to investigate Lockheed Martin too, and he wanted nothing to do with me. So
Yeah, because
these
they don't
guys,
want to get targeted. They know
well,
better. They're going to
they
get
know what's
killed
going
or they're
on.
going to get tortured. They're
Yeah,
going to
we
look like
still need
us.
people to come forward.
But if you guys are scared of becoming targeted, if you're scared of the Illuminati, if you're scared of Satan or whatever, just remember this. Never let this go out of your mind. That one day you're going to pay for that fear. There's a lot more to be afraid of. We're a lot more to be afraid of, and beyond us, God, the truth. That's a lot more to be afraid of. Paying for what you're doing right now and not doing because of your fear. That's treason. You're going to pay for that. So, this is a test. This is training. This is everything. This is life itself. And we're all in this together. And you know what? You may think it's disloyal. You may think it's whatever to, snitch on your co secret society members and people in your corporations and your organizations and your institutions and your branches and your departments and your agencies. But let me tell you, you are already disloyal to everyone else, including your family, your friends, and God, even yourselves. Just being with them and supporting the devilry that has been in disguise all this time. So if you want to be really loyal, if you want to be really loved and accepted and be a part of something greater than that, if you want to make more money, you can sue them right now in an uncountable amount of class action lawsuits with the whole world, and you can help the people get that money in yourself just by coming forward. If you want to change the world and be an actual hero and do more than what any generation has ever been able to do in all of life's time, possibly right now. Well, we have the internet right now. We have all this intelligence. We have all this evidence. We have all of these forums, these new, truth talks. We have this, the TI testimonies. We have Operation Guaranteed at OperationGuaranteed.com, YouTube, Operation Guaranteed. We got Facebook.com/Operation Guaranteed. This is to guaranteed help to properly inform, train, brief, empower, unify, liberate, and save us all. That's what it is. And it's guaranteed to do that even if we are not saved, even if, things don't work out 100% the best of the best ways possible, it is guaranteeing to do that, and it is guaranteed doing that already, right now, in this video. If you put in the comments every single truth that you know right now that contradicts, disproves, and simultaneously exposes lies, major lies, deception, devilry, evil lies, put in the comments right now. And people will see those power truths, that power truth, those power facts in the comments, and those powerful facts do that. They reprogram people's minds. They expose lies, simultaneously disproving them, and proving that the truth is the truth, contradicting it. That is the power that you have. So let's say they say the brain produces consciousness, and we say no. Consciousness produces the brain. There can be no matter without mind. There can be no mind without spirit. We put that everywhere. Spirit over mind over matter. In a quote all over the place. Over highway overpasses, on billboards, whatever. And that's our war. We don't fight with guns. We don't fight with grenades. We don't fight with bombs. We don't get in the streets unless we're going to get in the streets with that on flyers, protest flyers, and flyer protests. We take as many power truths as we can, all their lies, all their crimes, all their evils exposed on one flyer, and we make it freely available to for anyone to print out and join us in protest. That's how you do it. You fight with information. You fight with words. You fight with truths, because the whole time they've been using that as a weapon against us, fighting with disinformation, misinformation, lies that appear
Yep.
to be truth. Words.
That's a good point too. This is a peaceful war, if that makes sense. We're using our intelligence the way that we're designed to. Absolutely.
Hit them
Well
with the
said,
same
Devin.
techniques. If they're gang stalking you, gang stalk them. They're gaslighting you, gaslight them. Use all their techniques. They're using neurolinguistic programming to program the minds of the masses. Learn neurolinguistic programming and program them the opposite way, or make it so they can't even be programmed anymore. You want to focus on all these crimes, guys? Don't expose crimes. Expose the whole system of crimes itself. Don't expose one evil, expose it all and say, look at all the evil worldwide and all over this whole universe at the same time. That's what you got to do. That's what they're scared of. That's what they don't want you to do the most. And that's why they go in the news media and they're like, this guy over here, or this female, this terrorist, this crime, this criminal, this, and this. All these individual little things. When they caught them with the child trafficking, who was it? What was his name again? Something in there.
Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, Jeffrey Epstein. When they bombed the freaking twin towers, who was it? It was Osama bin Laden, the CIA contractor. You know, it was when something goes down, who do they blame? One group or one thing, right? They created ISIS. They created Al Qaeda. They created all these things, and what do? They wipe them out. They build up the opposition against themselves. They fund them. They fuel them. They weaponize them. They arm them, and then they wipe them out. And that's what they're doing to America.
Yep.
That's what they're doing.
100%. I think we should wrap it up, Devin. We're coming up on an hour and nobody's got attention spans. But yeah,
Thanks
man,
for coming
I
on
think
here,
we covered
bro.
a lot.
I definitely want to get a part two of this, or a second episode. If you
Hey, of course,
want.
anytime.
Anybody that wants to come on here, contact me, 860-731-8681, or titestimonies@gmail.com, or you could simply schedule at calendly.com, calendly.com/TI testimonies/schedule. We also have Truth Talks. Check out TikTok at Truth Talks Live if you'd like to go beyond targeting and talk about anything truth related. You can join us and invite whoever you want. And same number. You can actually use the same link, except replace TI testimonies with Truth Talks instead. So calendly.com/Truth Talks/schedule. And you can schedule an appointment and email truthtalks@gmail.com. Thank you, Tom, for coming on here. I hope
Thanks, Devin.
this gets out far and wide to as many people as possible. Please share
You
with everyone you can and leak this to the press, leak this to the government. Call the FBI, call the CIA, call the NSA, call the DOD, call the DIA, DOJ, call the fusion centers, send out emails, especially the aspects of our military and the U.S. Marshals that need to arrest these beings these people in our governments who failed to do what we order them to do, and they will comply right now because we have the highest authority. Thank you. Good luck to you all.